coming in these spaces and embracing brothers or being embraced by brothers, not seeing enemies, not seeing people out to get me, but seeing oftentimes flawed men who's doing their best to figure out life. We all trying to do that. If there's any attitude toward us that suggests that granting a reentry bill, a parole bill, have to be on the back of something perfect, beautiful, I think that's the bad way of looking at it. This is an imperfect situation. Our consequences are from imperfect actions. Our society has been imperfect toward people of color, as historically. Poor people, it's been a class wars. So if the process wasn't pretty to get us here, then the process shouldn't be pretty to get us out. I think if you look for the best of us, if you try to put the best face forward, the best case forward, I think you hurting the whole process. Just put people forward, people who learned, people who grew, people who became better men by self-examination, by doing by accident what society required us to do. I think that's the way we move forward.
Places, Act 1,
Break all the legs down.
Hey.
What's up, Justin? So Ben, this is Shayla.
Hey.
Shayla is
Shay or Shayla?
Shay.
Shay, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Excellent, yeah. When Stateville was built originally in the 20s, it was a factory. There were like factories everywhere, including like this farm, and they like had a printing press, and like because they believed in essentially slave labor, and so it was built that way. Like that's a philosophy. It's a fucked up one, but it was a philosophy, and that changes how you build it.
Yeah.
So.
It's evident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have parole in Illinois. It ended in 1978. And only people convicted before 1978 essentially still come up for parole before a parole board. Yeah, about 100 years ago in this country, there were a group of people who decided like prisons had to do more than just punish and warehouse folks. That if you're going to go away for a little while, you should come back better. And rehabilitation was a big part of that. So rather than a judge deciding a trial like that person should get 10 years or 5 years or 15 years or 50, how about after a little while, the sentenced person, the person in prison meets with a group of people who can assess them. And that's parole. That would be a parole board. It makes sense. It's like common sense in a lot of ways, so much so that it became the law of the land. And every state adopted a parole system eventually in the federal government. And then by about the second half of the last century, in the 1960s and 1970s, people in prison were like, this is not working. There's so many reasons why parole failed. One is that prisons do a really bad job at rehabilitation, that they're punitive and that they're criminogenic. They create more crime rather than like create the circumstances for people to reform. And also the parole board members were often political appointees, so there were a lot of prejudices. It was harder to connect with somebody who was different. And so people in prison and their supporters didn't want parole. Conservatives didn't want parole because they didn't like any system of release. And then so really like parole was doomed by the middle of the 1970s and beyond. One of the ironies of this is that what replaced parole, which these sort of indeterminate sentences, we replaced them with these fixed sentences where you would get like a mandatory minimum amount of time. Those mandatory minimums just got longer and longer and longer. They were essentially in the hands of politicians who were always afraid of being accused of being soft on crime. Longer prison sentences, fewer options for release. And the third thing we did is we made it much more likely that somebody who commits an offense is going to serve prison time rather than some other form of punishment. That becomes the recipe for mass incarceration. We go from in Illinois, from about 5,000 people in prison, 5,600 or so in the 1970s, to 49,000. It's an incredible amount. Every state does this. Whether you're Maine, whether you're New Mexico, California, Idaho, every state goes up with these percentages, as does the whole system overall. We go from about 200,000 in the country in prison, in every federal and state prison, to about 1.6 million. And where we are now, then, is that people in prison, including many of the men that you worked with, they want parole back. They want an option to just be assessed and seen by a parole board, and hoping to make the system better than the first time around.
Hi, Raul.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm missing all y'all.
I know.
Missing you too.
Shay is here too. Just so you know, she's on the call with us.
Hey, Shay, how you doing?
Hey, I'm feeling good. How you feeling?
I've lost like 20 pounds since I left Stateville. They don't feed us here.
Oh wow.
Well, I can give you a few minutes of how I feel about it.
Okay.
First, you already know my story going through the juvenile system and how I was harmed, so I don't need to repeat that. You got that on footage, and I'll have different areas during the film and all that. If I feel that I deserve to come home to my families, and they deserve to come home to their loved ones, and their loved ones deserve to have them home just as much as my loved ones deserve to have me home.
But I didn't know how central you were to my redemption. I didn't come in there looking for that experience, and I didn't know that you would offer that to me.
I thank you, because that was a formative time for me, you know?
It's crazy how we're pitted against each other by the system. We're made to be enemies, and we're banished from each other, and nothing is possible after that point. I am always trying to help people understand that my favorite people in the world are buried alive, you know? How is it possible that my favorite people in the world are buried alive?
People ask me, well, if these politicians, if they know that this system is screwed up, it's racist, this long life sentences don't make the public safer, why don't they change the laws? Why don't they give us a way out?
1 minute remaining.
And I'm like, because they feel we're not giving them anything in return. They're risking their careers to do that. And there's no political capital. They're spending political currency. We're not giving them anything in return. And we wish that our legislators can be imbued with that same feeling that you have right now that drives you to do that work.
Oh, Shay.
Shay.
And there's so much more I have to tell you, so I hope.
A sense of hope.
Yeah. When I first went into Stateville, I had the arrogance of mercy, thinking I had something to offer them, afraid of the people that we house in our prisons. I quickly learned our country's commitment to racism, legalized slavery, and quiet judicial homicide. My husband and I began working and advocating for these men through the nonprofit they started inside called Parole Illinois. I learned that the experiences of victims are leveraged against them, against their release. And when I couldn't be with them during COVID, I testified before legislators in hearings on their behalf. Some of the men spent quarantine reading a people's art history of the United States and the art of activism. And by the time I returned to Stateville in 2022 through PNAP, they asked me to help them create a performance to introduce them to a world that would never meet them otherwise.
Might be the mic. Okay.
Somebody please go to the other mics. I'll take care of that.
Tyrone, are you confused about where you are?
Test 1, 2. 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 Test.
We need to stop taking our seats. Whoever part of the thing next, you need to come up here and sit down. We're going to get started.
Test 1, 2.
Hello, everyone. My name is Melissa Lorraine Hill. I'm the co-founding artistic director of Theater Y in Chicago, and I came into this work, namely education in prison, rather unexpectedly. On September 9th, 2017, I survived abduction and predatory sexual assault. I got into a car that I mistakenly believed was my Uber and was not released for 4 hours. My world collapsed. My assailant was never caught. I was diagnosed with PTSD and dissociated from my body, rendering me totally useless to my own theater. I received extensive movement therapy, a physical re-embodiment practice for trauma rehabilitation, and emerged from this therapy with renewed presence, cautious optimism, new tools, and a feeling that I may be the only survivor in the world who has ever received such care. I was compelled to pass this healing on to others. I discovered that trauma is stored in a part of the brain that has no access to language, that the body keeps the score. Hurt people hurt people. Responsible parties are traumatizing others out of their own complex traumas. I was now harboring a new and paralyzing fear of men. I risked positioning myself to be held hostage by my experiences, and I concluded that my healing likely required drawing closer to this fear. So I began teaching movement therapy for trauma rehabilitation at Cook County Jail and Stateville Correctional Facility. This work immediately complicated my narrative. We needed each other to heal. We needed to see one another, to confess and cry together, and to remember that I am because of who we all are. These men had the power to restore my faith in my fellow humans. When we banish those who have committed a crime from the world on behalf of the harmed party, we serve no one. Incarceration leaves a new trail of victims in its wake, more traumatized humans suffering between more bad choices, to say nothing of the harm done to the wrongfully incarcerated, or the cruelty of long-term sentences without parole. What good is justice without the possibility of change? There is no healing for any of us until there is healing for all of us. I personally do not feel safe inside a system that locks people up and throws away the key. Mercy has been my freedom and my oxygen as the world has become more frightening and complex. Until all of us are whole, none of us are safe. Last fall, these men asked if we could make a performance together, if I could help them introduce themselves to the world, to take the impossibly brave step of further bearing their souls in what is already the most vulnerable of positions imaginable. What you are about to witness is just that. This performance is comprised of their last remaining possessions, their words, their flesh, and their unbound souls. We have named this play Not to Be.
Who am I? My contemporaneous ontology is 1619. My vocation is human. And although I've been called many things, I am. I am Twa. I'm Sinner. I'm Kemet. I am Coon. I am colored. I am othered. I am Macadocian melanocious. And as I deal with over 400 years of culturally induced inferiority complexes that are self-perpetuating, I am.
Who am I? I'm the son of the preacher, the youngest of 13 siblings. I'm a father, a brother, an uncle, and a cousin. I'm a best friend, a boyfriend. I'm not just living in this world, but a world lives in me, and I'm more than what it seems at this moment.
Who am I? I'm love in its purest form. I am joy. Where am I coming from? I came from a place of destitute, meaning I didn't have the ability of applying myself to the world at hand. Where am I going? I plan on going on top of life. And once I get there, I want to be a philanthropist. The poor must be cultivated to its purest form.
I am a tree, rooted in barren soil, soulfully sovereign, powerful and royal. I come from a place where love has anchored itself in the unsettling sea, a God-fearing community that struggles to bend its knee. I am on a journey, trying to see life come full circle as I embody my Zen, hoping to one day hold my grandchildren's children before I sin.
Who am I? I am root. Where do I come from? Out of dry ground. Where am I going? Through the routes that was paved by my ancestors' rubble, to a place in the plains where other roots are huddled.
Who am I? I am mole, the sweet and spicy, reddish maroon colored nahuatl sauce. I am the chiles, the root vegetables, the pumpkin seeds, the sesame seeds, and the Mexican chocolate that give mole its unique earthy flavor. I am the way that is slowly cooked and blended for perfection. Where do I come from? I come from over 500 years of oppression caused by the conquistador legacy. The mixing of Spanish and pre-Columbian, Mesoamerican, indigenous blood. I come from two worlds, but never really belonged to either. I speak the oppressor's language. I've adopted his dominant cultural norms. Where do I want to go? I want to go where the construct of skin color doesn't divide but unifies, where ideological disparities are blended like mole into human equities.
Who am I? I'm thinking about that mole Jimmy was just talking about. I'm also a son. I'm a brother. I'm an uncle. I'm the proud father of one daughter, Maria. I'm a community organizer, agitator, and community builder. I'm a risk taker and activist who don't mind getting in good trouble. I'm coming from the place of inclusiveness, of one collective humanity, a universal community, if you will, where the spoken language is love.
I am my son's father. I love him. I am blessed. Where am I coming from? North Lawndale, East Garfield neighborhood, Marshall High School. Where am I going? Straight to the top. Believing, strong, with my brothers and sisters at hand. In a world full of abolitionists to turn this world upside down. That's who I am. That's where I've come from, and that's where I'm going.
Who on this stage is a father? Who is a grandfather? A creator? A scientist? A therapist? Who has a high school diploma or GED? An undergraduate degree? A master's degree? Who's a poet? A scholar? A paralegal, a litigator, a policymaker? Who's a teacher, an Afrofuturist, a minister? Who is a feminist, an agent of restoration, of reconciliation, who's a Trump supporter. Who on this stage is a brother, an uncle, someone's son?
So I'm meeting my mother for lunch. As she approaches, I can quickly see how the years have worn away at her. She's got this thing where she likes to order food and bring it to me and serve me, and it makes me feel like I'm a little kid again at our kitchen table. My mom has shortly cropped hair, and it's dyed like a deep red or maroon. And she's got ripples in her hair like petals on a flower. It reminds me of an image of a red poppy that I saw on the cover of a calendar. And she's got these dark green eyes. But it's hard to see the exact hue of her eyes unless you look real carefully. So we're sitting down, eating, talking, and I'm trying not to let my mom catch me staring at her eyes. And it occurs to me, I've never had the vulnerability to tell my own mother how beautiful her eyes are. When it's time to leave, I give my mother a hug. And as she drapes her hood over her head, I catch a last glimpse of a flower centered with green eyes. Then my mother proceeds to leave out the stairs on the left. I exit out the stairs on the right. And the heavy door slams shut behind me. And the prison guard tells me, strip off your clothes, bend at the waist, and cough.
There was a time early during incarceration I was in segregation. And so my mom came to visit me. And I was embarrassed by my mother seeing me in that situation. Embarrassed because she drove all the way out here and our visit was behind the glass, so she couldn't touch her son. And to make matters worse, they brought me in, I was chained up, and then they chained me down to a chair like I was an animal. And me being somewhat vain, I was embarrassed because my mother saw me unshaven. And so I'm looking like, what? I don't know. So as we're proceeding through the visit, I realized that I actually needed this visit. I was glad to see my mom. You know, SEG is like a dark space. So it was the light of her love that helped me persevere that moment. And while I was worried about all the other nuances of the situation, the glass, the shackles, the chaining, in that moment, I knew that I was loved. I knew that I was more than B39522. I was more than that moment. I was her son.
When I first met my daughter, I remember I arrived about 20 minutes later, and I heard a baby crying. And when the door opened, Miss Walker, she said, "There's your daughter." And I was mad, because this woman didn't even tell me that I had a daughter. And I looked at her, and she looked at me with them brown eyes like, who is this stranger looking at me? And I picked up, and she stopped crying. And I kissed her, and I began to cry. But because our face was touching, my tears rolled down her face. I remember wiping my tears off her face, and she looked at me and smiled. At that moment, we were no longer strangers. I played with her for about 30 minutes and then left. Shortly after that, I was arrested for the crime I'm incarcerated for.
Love and affection is the bonding element of all relationships. It's the glue to the human spirit.
They want to chain our minds until we change our minds, reduce our bloodline, drain our life with time. I keep looking for the sunshine tomorrow. Christ in my crisis, amongst the pain and sorrow. So horrible to see what we've grown to be. Animals they see, we under lock and key. They propaganda black hands, murder more black men than the Klan. Rejecting God's plan, prison doors slam. Am I as dangerous as they say that I am? I'm not an animal. I guess I'm a preacher. Did I reach you?
I get it. I get it. I get it. My mannerisms are abrasive. A stork face that's R-rated. You on the outside looking in, though. Since my days as a kid playing Nintendo, I was the gist of innuendos. Plus, my pops wasn't there. He was there, but wasn't there. I'm a product of being beaten in the void muzzle flares. What you see as a closed book is probably a puzzle there. You take the route that I took, you probably will stumble there. I get it. I get it, I get it. Your perception and my reality clashes. My beauty defines me, but you perceive it as ashes. It's Muhammad, it's Cassius. But what it really is fascist, the depictions of a slave owner, standards for my blackness. I get it. I get it, I get it. If I was to talk with my hands, you would deem it belligerent or aggressive. The extent of the equality message, a law for elites and a different law for us peasants. You only want Trump gone because he's a racist and reckless. But if you're really being real, he embodies our essence. I get it. I get it, I get it. From shootouts to straight pimping, dark secrets we can't mention, tax cuts and late pensions. Do abortions blame infants? Well, what used to be a whole, we see the future in glimpses. I get it. I get it, I get it. The truth isn't straight or crooked, it's twisted. It's demented. To think that God is involved or to believe in a God makes it hard to evolve. Look to the message on pause. I admit that I'm flawed and not likely the right one to answer this call. But if Trump could be elected, your perception is fogged. Like I care if you fail to mention this in your blog. I get it. I get it.
The last time that I cried in front of someone when I was told on a visit that a childhood friend of mine had committed suicide. Rather than face incarceration, he took a gun and put it to his head and ended his life.
The last time I cried was when I learned the mother of my daughters had died of a heroin overdose. I don't like to think about it, though, for the simple fact that if I had been on the streets, she would have never been introduced to heroin in the first place.
When was the last time I cried? Well, I grew up learning that it was weak to cry. But I understand now that it's okay to cry, to let out your emotions through your tears. Since coming to prison, I lost my mother, my sister, my brother. So when I pull out their photos, that's when I cry. And remember, I'll see them again.
Family and friends always ask, what's it like? Well, Stateville is like a medieval castle in a rural landscape. You enter through a big cement building called the administration building. But us on the inside, we know it as the master's house. This is where administrators process our lives, where number crunchers depreciate our value, where counselors distill our essence into brief counseling summaries. And when you get to gate 5, past gate 5 is where the plantation begins. You walk down a long corridor. Eventually you'll see the buildings, chain link fence, barbed wire, gates. Then you'll see a group of men in prison blues, walk towards you, shoulder to shoulder. As they draw nearer, you'll see that many of them are walking in crutches. Many are being wheeled in wheelchairs. As they draw even closer, you'll see many of them are gray and elderly. For these men, prisons are long-term care facilities, only without the actual care. And these men are still paying a debt to society for mistakes they made 20, 30, and 40 years ago. And all these men, all of us, the debris of our deferred dreams, I say, and the debris of our deferred dreams litters the prison yard.
Captive in this living hell, my soul continues to be tortured for my worst day. I wake, I pray, and see structured movements of bodies that look like mine. I cannot see my whole face, for I've grown old and fat in this cage.
Change is coming, it's on the way, a brand new dawning, the breaking of day. The light will shine, no chains will bind, a world filled with peace, a lovely story. We shall overcome.
Prison ages you like a canine. Hope is my only ally, but it is fleeting with each day, month, and year.
We shall overcome.
Time unglues the strongest bonds coupled with death. Yet I wake, I pray, and see structured movements of bodies that look like mine.
We shall overcome. One nation, one love, and we shall overcome.
Social death killed me from truly being free. Now I live in a state of constant captivity. It's lonely, nasty, brutish, a shorter lifespan. This is the cruel and unusual punishment of death by incarceration. Society doesn't see me no matter what I achieve. Therefore, I wonder, am I a person?
A lot of people want to do it again after that, and a lot of people asked me after that, how can I sign up? So that was good, though.
The best thing for me was I got to see some individuals who I've known for years in lights that I've never seen them in. Then I'm not talking about the dancing, even though that was great. I mean, some of their stories was different than I thought their stories would be. And even though I'm in this environment and been in this environment over 3 decades, like some of the stuff was shocking and touching to me. A couple of guys came up to me like hardcore inmates, prisoners, dudes, right, that's been here 30 years, told me that they cried, and like I didn't know how to handle that.
You know, right up to the last minute, there were, you know, some censorship issues, and
what they had to discuss with the ward and how they had their hand in it right up to the last minute. But, you know, nevertheless, I think it went off without a hitch. Everybody had a backup plan because we know that that's what we have to have around here is a backup plan, right? But the guys, wow, man, I'm so proud of everybody. Like, to see the stigma that we live with, but to see the delivery and the performance, like, I congratulated these guys so hard because they deserved it. Like, I don't want to start mentioning names. I just want to say everybody was amazing. Like, it was powerful stuff to see the type of men that these guys are turning into. Like, they're worthy, and I hope that life has something better for all of us in store. You know, in the cell house, guys coming up to me talking about how they were crying, and it relit a fire in them, and it inspired hope, and they want to be better, and they want to be a part of it. Like, we're getting, man, we're putting a good message out there. Like, what's going on in this school building is extremely exceptional. I was just telling somebody when I first started doing this in 1997, this was not an opportunity. This was not an option, and what education we did have was not what we're doing now. This is education. This is community building, and man, I'm just so proud of how that whole thing went off. I was glad to be a part of it.
They feel very strongly that that the fresh lens on them is my relationship to them as somebody who has survived a crime, and so that's, I think, been the most treacherous terrain for us to navigate, because it feels to be centering me in a way that is inappropriate and strange. But they felt that they were under such a credibility deficit that there was really no other way to overcome it than through the frame of my voice.
Yeah, that's powerful. I mean, the only thing I'd say is that I thought the first 30 minutes of them in their own words does that work too, because they speak, it's in their own words. They're speaking with such honesty and rawness and tears and humor. They're able to, I mean, it's like we know, like in our work, that no, if you just come in here and see this, you're going to be changed. And you're able to, you did that. You brought the fire back.
Fuck you mean? I'm gonna tell him right now, fuck you mean. Hey, Paulie. Doing my filming. I'm about to do my take.
You're about to do what?
My take on the film. We're doing a play.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Don't fucking make me laugh. You better not say fucking, you better not say fucking, fuck you mean.
Fuck you mean.
Salutations, distinguished guests. I humbly welcome you, as it is an honor and a privilege to introduce you to theater-wise. No, let's have fun. Theater-wise.
Charlie House, right? Good, yep.
No, that shit.
Had to break the skull cap out today, man.
Oh, there he is. How you doing there, buddy?
You just putting yourself out there to impact the world forever.
Legacy.
We get caught up in like the time that we miss, the time that we want to be there, and that puts like our mind in like this, or for me it does, it puts my mind like this tense all the time, like in the box, like in these margins where I'm walking around feeling like this rigidness all day, right? So now, as I'm writing out in my mind, I want to be able to put together words that will be impactful in the world when I'm gone. So put my love out to the world that's impactful when I'm gone. Put my spirit out to the world so it's impactful when I'm gone. And so when you think like that, I feel like for me, it's been a little bit, even though I'm in like this stressful situation, when I think like that, like sometimes I find myself writing and I'm smiling. So it's like, cause I know that I'm doing something that will last forever, like time, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, time is forever. Time is forever.
Oh, God, so the rain doesn't, the puddles don't get any of Lonnie. Can you imagine me here with my skirts?
You kind of like this on the way, like a waiting, like, and then, you know what I mean?
Because it's going to be like, I'm going to tell my truth, but I'm going to tell your truth too, bitch, because this is my book, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And there can't be one piece of false information in there, or it doesn't do me any good as far as healing and moving on. You know what I mean? And being able to live with a clean conscience.
Should we bow?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll go back. What you mean? I mean, okay, I've been ready, so I mean, it's time to go. Okay.
So hands on your knees.
Joe,
We're gonna bow. So we might need to move your desk.
Might want to turn to the camera.
All right.
Nice and loud. Say your name.
Man, I kind of agree with Steve. Like, there was a time when I wasn't being very productive. And when I first came to the penitentiary, too, the depression monster had a hold of me, you know, so. And I read a book by Viktor Frankl. It's called Man's Search for Meaning, and he taught me that there's 3 ways that I can find meaning and purpose in my life. That's through a meaningful body of work, loving another individual, or just flat out being courageous. Like, that includes suffering. Like, I can suffer courageously, you know, and like, I've adopted those principles into my life. Like, I get up because I know I got I got stuff to do. I got something I can always be working on. I got opportunities, I got schooling, I got relationships to maintain. I just got things to do, man, other than lay in that bed and fight with depression and wilt away in here, you know. So I think it was important when I learned that you can even suffer with courage and you can find meaning in that. And I believe that we all are suffering in here, but we do it courageously, and I think it's admirable, and that's what gets me up. I got things to do, you know. I'm trying to get home too. I got 3 kids, and my mom's still out there alive and struggling, and she needs me, and I have a lot of motivation to get home and to be better.
What motivates me to get up every morning and do what I do is I know that I got to shape my legacy. I also know that I'm in a fight for my life and the lives of other people. I equate my path through life as becoming a child soldier at an early age to becoming a freedom fighter now. Shutting this place down,
changing policies if I can, building community, providing another path for future generations. Those are all the things that motivate me. And in the process, trying to reclaim my life, also redefine my life, and redefine my person, my position in this life. With that, I'm in.
We get you're afraid of looking soft on crime, but look, how do we combat that narrative that is decades in the making, and it is liberal people that are feeding that? Like, what is the antidote to that? And is there something in the film and all the footage you all have and the story that you're telling that is creating a counter narrative?
I feel like once you understand that this is the latest iteration of slavery, the conversation of tough on crime dissolves.
So I did not know how terrible it was. It was statistics to me until I met y'all, right? And we actually went in there, and now a whole world has opened up to me. Like, that ignorance, how do we break open that ignorance?
It's just a lack of relationship. It's just restoring the relationship. And we know that the footage we have can do that. We know that we don't have special eyes to see these men. They are this radiant, and anyone could see it if they were given the chance.
You know, a lot of what the folks on Saturday were asking for is a second chance, right? And that there's just no opportunity for second chances. Like, this mindset of continuing to torture and traumatize people that are already under-resourced.
What do you want your legacy to be?
Right.
Do you want to be for the politics, or do you want to be for the people? Because if you want to be for the people, we got a suggestion for you. But if you want to be for the politics, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And see how that works for you.
Yeah, I mean, asking him what he wants his legacy to be is a great, great question. Just that.
Look at these beautiful fucking humans and look what's possible, even as the walls are crumbling, if you bring people who care about them, you put them in community, and you allow them full expression of the humanity. We just want to show you what's possible.
Welcome, everybody. Okay, here's the question. Tell us a time, an experience that taught you something new about love.
It gave me faith in people again. It showed me that even the people who just, it's not my problem, that ain't got nothing to do with me, will stop and just care to a person that's in need that cannot help themselves. That showed me love in one of its purest forms. Because even though his death shook us up, it shook him up more because he was an innocent bystander.
That type of love that he had for us as kids, it was a great experience, and it changed my thought on love. So now I have this embedded in me. People that are less fortunate than me, I try to give to them. So I learned that lesson from him. And with that, I'm all in.
As I'm going through my route, my routine, I'm thinking about this verse, and when I get to the mirror and I square up again, the scripture pops up in my mind: love does not parade itself. Right? So here it is, I'm sitting there, I got this tank top on, right? And I feel super convicted, so right away, instantly I just put my shirt back on.
I feel like, first of all, today is my daughter's 19th birthday. You know what I'm saying? So happy birthday, Pooh. Probably won't see this on your birthday, but I love you. That's love, you know what I'm saying? So even though she says it every time we hang up or every time we talk, I love you, Dad. I love you, Dad. Sometimes when it's like that lack of communication, it don't feel like it's love. Or, I don't know. It don't feel like it all the time, man. And it's not on her, it's on me, because I'm the one that's absent or whatever like that, right? When I talk to my OG about it, or my mom, when I talk to my mom about it, she says, she just like you, or if she gets to talk about my son, he just like you. I'm like, nah, I don't remember it being like that rough. I mean, I was a stubborn person, but I don't know. It's just, it's a new experience. I'm really kind of like at a loss of words for it, but it's just a new experience all the time. All the time of being able to have that love, that kind of love. It's always fresh, I guess. With that, I'm all in. That was deep.
I saw you trying to find words for things that don't have words.
I remember when I first held my grandson. He was a few months old, and my mom was on a visit. And then my mom looked at me and she was like, I have never saw you that happy. She said, I have never saw you happy. She used to see me hold my grandbaby. He's 15 now, that was my first one. But going through the journey with these young people, with these children, and majority of my communication with them is on the phone, photographs, video visits, so forth. That's my majority. And so I know the importance of like calling them every day. So I want to talk to the grandbabies every day. So I have 10 grandchildren, 2 on the way. And I try to figure out, I want to make sure that I talk to these children 2, 3 of them every single day, because I know the importance of building my relationship.
The thing that started dawning on me was that love isn't always something that makes you feel good. It's painful. And by her being there watching her boyfriend with his father on Father's Day, it was painful for her because she loves her dad and he's not there, you know? And so for me to call her and remind her of my absence, it just was more painful for her. And so obviously that was painful for me, but I started realizing that maybe sometimes when people love you, your absence hurts them, and so they avoid you so they don't have to feel it, you know. And so that was a lesson that I learned during that conversation, was that love doesn't always feel good. It's not always gonna make you, the sunshine and the birds chirp and all that, you know. Sometimes it's gonna make you feel like shit. And so that was something I learned that during that conversation. And with that, I'm all in.
I'm gonna take you back to when I was like 17. Of course, I'm in love, the other kind of love with my girlfriend, Stacy. But me and my mom, this is my first time ever having an argument with my mother when I use profanity. So we talking and I say some cuss words and I rush out the house and I go over to my girlfriend Stacy's house. So about, Stacy see I'm upset and she like, what happened, we talking. And then her doorbell rang after about an hour. And it's my younger brother. And he got tears in his eyes. He knew who I was. Hey man, what's going on? I love you, bro. Are you coming back home? Cause I think I said I'm never coming back home or something. And that was a different kind of love. Now fast forward to a month ago. Actually it's February. It's February the 16th. I'm expecting this ruling from the Illinois Supreme Court. We all super optimistic. I called the same brother, hey, what's up? He was like, hey, what's up, bro? We got the opinion. You finna come home. My brother had read the wrong part of the ruling. So he was like, yeah, I talked to your daughter earlier. And she's in Philadelphia with some friends. And I told her the good news, so we talking. So eventually we find out that my brother read the wrong part of the opinion, and he read the dissenting opinion, and I actually wasn't getting out. It was a 5-2 ruling.
A moment I had shared with my father. To give you some context, he was shot in the gut by his best friend. I didn't realize that forgiveness is one of the biggest acts of love. I didn't realize that till 2 years later when he called me and told me he was tired. His kidney was failing. He said, I'm tired. He was in Michael Reese. So he said he was sorry, this, that, and the other, you know, told him don't go, but I understood. That night he died. It was the next year that I realized that he forgave Blood because he loved him. They shared a friendship. They had, you know, he shot him over a dice game over some money. They was drunk. But the biggest act of love he can give to anybody, and he didn't give it to us, but he extended it to his friend, and that was forgiveness. So I ended up doing the same thing after his passing. That was one of the moments where love evolved. I didn't realize it at the moment, but a couple of years after that, I found out what it meant. With that, I'm all in.
All the kids congregated around the ice cream truck, and there was a girl named Daisy. I had a crush on Daisy for a long time, and I tried to impress Daisy by bought her the ice cream. I bought Daisy the ice cream with the other $1. And when I got home, my brother's like, "Where's my ice cream?" And I'm like, "Well, I bought one for Daisy. Daisy was there." And my brother went running to my dad. He's like, "I ruled about, he spent the other $1, bought ice cream for Daisy. I don't have no ice cream." And he went crying, you know. He went like complaining, and my dad just started laughing. And I don't know, I still remember it. I remember it, one of the things that brings me humor, you know? And sometimes you need something different. Sometimes you need that humor, right? And yeah, so that was a good story for me. It still brings me humor. With that, I'm in.
And I learned something valuable in that moment. You know, it actually brought tears to my eyes when I thought about it, that I could be these thousands of miles away from home, and yet the home is where it's in you. It's not where you at. It's what you bring out of yourself, what you disseminate to others, and it creates that environment of comfortability. And that moment I learned love, what real love was. The brother showed me what that love was. And I'll never forget that moment. And with that, I'm all in.
Can't catch the time. I was running through my life asleep, like this darkness in a haze. I was running through life drunk and fueled up on whatever I could get a hold of, you know what I mean, to avoid my reality. So it's only these last 5 years that I'm so fundamentally changed, because I've been able to explore my life, and really it's been the greatest blessing that's ever happened to me. So, I mean, I say that to say, like, for instance, at one of my worst moments, my first substantial hearing in this case, I know I'm coming out of the side room, shackled up like a mad dog, and I see everybody in my life that ever meant anything to me standing there greeting me with smiles and love, and the people who probably should have been the farthest from me were the ones that were the closest up in the pews. You know what I mean? Like, this is unconditional love at a time when I needed it more than anything. And certainly it was unmerited. Like, I didn't deserve the grace that they were giving me, the love that they were giving me. I think love is one of the hardest emotions to show. It's very complex. Sometimes it's easier to be selfish and you want to withhold love from somebody because you feel like they didn't deserve it at that time. Like, you're good enough to withhold love from somebody. You know what I mean? Like, all the shit I did in my life, and everybody who's still here for me and showing me unconditional love, like, I mean, that's a lesson I've learned, that it's very important, man. The more love you give unconditionally, the better person you are, the bigger your heart is, and the world needs more people like that. So I just, that experience, man, being there when people are down, they don't need to be harangued, they need to be loved. And I'll say with that, I'm all in. I'll say.
I want to talk about the differences in love with the love for my brothers. So, my middle brother died. He was killed when he was 17, and I was 9 years old. And so, for me, the way to express my love was to get revenge. The dude who did that to my brother, I'm coming for whoever was part of that gang, right? And there was no stopping me. And this is 9 years old. This is my idea of what expressing love was. And living that lifestyle, you know, I just saw that it was getting me nowhere. You know, it's like I had that, you know, I didn't think I was gonna make it past 18, but then something started clicking, you know, and I'm seeing like, man, my aggression, the lifestyle I'm living, it's not doing that for me. Sacrifices, all this stuff, it's not getting anywhere, not bringing my brother back. There's just so much disunity. So much disunity amongst what we gave our life for, right? A counterfeit love, you can say. So much disunity within our own family and within other families. People ain't talking to each other and did that. It's just like, damn, you know, what happened? All of this stuff we experienced, we cannot be together, you know? How can we forgive each other? How can we get past these things if we say we love each other, right?
Any one of these years, she could have just told our family, like, you know, yeah, I'm out of here. I've done enough of this. Somebody else needs to take care of them. And she hasn't. She's still there. She still, you know, answers my phone call. Every time I call, she's still, whatever, you know, anybody else in the family needs, she takes care of all his, you know, affairs, and it changed my views of like my own definition of love, because I was like, I always looked at love as selfless and all this stuff, but when I seen her love for my dad, I wasn't sure if I could love someone like that. Like, am I even capable of, like, I can do a lot for people that I love, but like, am I capable of that?
I feel in this room that I know nothing about love. If I'm honest, listening to all of you, I really feel young and untested. And so I learn things about love in this space every Monday. And you maybe are my greatest teachers about what love is with each other. The way that you regard each other and care for each other is really an education every Monday. Recently, I was sitting beside Lake Michigan, and I may have said this to you once. And I heard the waves saying yes. Every single wave was just saying yes. Yes. And I felt nature loving me like the mother I never had. Like this just natural affirmation that I had been longing for so long, from so many different places, so many people to tell me, yes, Melissa, yes, just yes, yes, just yes about the fact that I am. Not about anything I do or any skill I have, just yes, yes to you. And once nature was able to start to whisper that to me, I realized that I am climbing into human relations with a deficit you can't fill. Like there's work I have to do to stop putting on you what the waves should be telling me. You know, I don't know, that's where I am. This is today's episode on love. Where I am is like, I'm trying to receive the affirmation that I crave from all the places that are constant, like the waves and the sun and the breeze, so that I come full into this space to offer, to pour more of myself into others and to receive their abundance and to not be adding a deficit to my human relationships. But I don't know, like that, again, to be continued, and thank you for continuing to write my definition of love with me. And with that, I'm all in.
Speaking of love, my last name is Love, right? So, growing up in my area, you got a name like that, you're gonna be fighting all the time, you know? So, you just imagine that, oh yeah, his name Love, fight him. So, I was literally bullied because of my name Love, so I fought a lot of people and stuff like that because of that. Love has taught me patience over the years. And a few years back, I talked to my mother because my son was giving me so much hell. I said, damn, Ma, was I like this to you growing up? She was like, you was worse than that. I said, well, I apologize. I said, he's putting it on me now. She like, yeah, she just started laughing. She like, yeah, that's what being a parent is. I told you, karma's something else, ain't it? Like, yeah, you right.
But the very system that denigrates both the guilty and the innocent don't have a mechanism to forgive. Don't have a process to perform forgiveness. It doesn't do that.
The prison life or prison experience in itself is traumatic. It's trauma. You're inducing trauma on people every day, all day through powerlessness. So everybody deals with trauma differently.
I don't think you should be able to sentence nobody to prison unless you came to prison and see exactly what you're sentencing them to. How can you say I deserve something when you don't know what it is? If you take something back from here to the lieutenant governor's office, just tell them that, man, hope got a threshold. Like, prison has the same rules that it had when it was violent that it has today that is not violent state guild. Rules didn't change. What changed? We changed, right? Because we started to see people go on. We started to have a governor that says, man, I'm gonna change things for y'all, so we found hope. What happens when we realize that, like, this dude lied to us? That's my fear, that some people may not be able to deal with that.
Guys, let's go.
Do we have a song that we could sing together? That everyone would know? It sounded like you knew a song. What was that song? What were you singing? You have no idea. I saw that apple rolling around.
Which one, that one?
Yeah, that one was rolling around, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, but can we I don't know what, man. I'm really.
Either way, we follow you. You know we follow you.
Okay, we're going out here with just the spirit of like, what are we doing, friends? Come on, Johnny, we're gonna sing little songs together. What? Yeah, come on, Beto. You too, everybody, we're all gonna sing together in these little hallways. I don't know what we're gonna sing, but we're gonna figure out. I don't know what the rules are. I don't know what the rules are, but anyway, we sing. Is there like a children's song we can remember?
Put your right foot.
Everybody.
What else? I can't think of nothing. That we would all
sing,
know.
London Bridge is falling down.
Oh. That's
Say the
interesting.
bridge is crashing in.
It's the bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your past practice.
Yeah, your strife. You're making me want to skip through the hallways. I'm just trying to play. I'm just trying to not be sad, you guys.
You can't get around to sad.
I know.
Are we doing everything Mike does?
Yeah, we're doing everything Mike does. And we're following the leader.
You all doing everything I did?
Yep.
It's
Somebody else got to lead. I don't know how to do this.
Okay, when you're doing a
Follow
great
you.
job.
Somebody else got to lead. I don't know how to do this.
Anything you want. And then when you're done, when you're like, okay, I've done all the leading I'm wanting to do, then peel off and go to the back of the line, and then you'll automatically make the next person the leader. But you're doing such a good job. Okay, so peel off and go to the back, and now I'm in trouble. Uh-oh. Okay.
Oh, you got it.
I love it when we're being upset.
Our capacity for mercy can't end with innocence. It can't end with the nonviolent drug offender. We have to rethink it. Ask these really tough questions. Like, what is the punishment supposed to be doing? When should it end? And how do we want to bring people back to society?
This is for Charles. Time is forever. Time is forever. Learning how to pray. Okay, I'm peeling off and I'm leaving the next person. It's you, Johnny. It's you. No, it's you, Johnny. It's you. You're the leader, Johnny.
It's you, Johnny.
It's you, Johnny.
This is something special, and I knew that I had to be conscientious of the moment. When you all bring so much balance to us, to our lives in so many different ways. I think we developed a genuine friendship, a sister and brotherhood, and I think that all it is now is, we figure out how do we keep it going.
Now raise with your other hand. Wave like you don't care.
You're welcome to join, Shay. Come on in, the water's fine.
We have to overcome just the absence of thinking about people before we can sort of even address whether we think about them fairly or without prejudice. So we have to make people visible. For a bunch of my work on parole, I also spent time with victims and their families. I'd go to hearings and they would be there, and I would speak to them as well. I want to tell their stories as part of the work. And I would see these families after 30 years, 40 years, 50 years of someone being locked up, and it seemed like they had no more sense of relief, no more sense of closure, no more sense of healing at the half-century mark than they did after a year or 5 years or 10 years. And what a failure, what a thing that points to the failure of the system, that we offer folks, one solution to their pain, and that's to say, press this button that says more punishment.
That was good exercise, y'all. I'm glad to, and like, whenever we're in our bodies, at least for me at least, I'm not here. It's like the fastest way to travel with you out from behind that 30-foot wall. I did, and you guys missed out.
Okay.
But we can always go back and follow your lead.
Okay.
I'm so grateful to even have this experience with y'all. To know that by y'all allowing yourself to shine, y'all gave me permission to shine as well. And I hope that I've done the same thing for all of y'all as well.
This has been a strong contribution to our lives Theater Y, PNAP, DePaul, Northeastern, Northwestern, North Park, all the programs has empowered us in a way, and y'all have allowed us to see ourselves in each one of y'all, right? Our human side. Somewhere along this road, sometimes that get distorted. We have to act and become the very thing that we are labeled as to survive. But it's other humans like y'all that pull us out that darkness and allow us to be representatives of that human essence, that celestial universal presence. Stateville is a detriment to our health, our well-being. So again, I won't miss that, but the love lies in the communities. Disclosure and our transfers are a product of our power, which is, y'all helped us to honor, right? This is the work that we do. This is why we in this theater, why this is why we in the programs. To be abolitionists, to tear shit down and replace it with things that's gonna be life affirming. This place is not life affirming. So I thank you. I thank all y'all for helping us to achieve this objective and removing this place. We'll be displaced shortly, but our goal is freedom. We continuously push for that, and community is always broken up and displaced, but we'll find a way to connect and continue to work together. And I think that that's where we should lie our hopes and our aspirations and our commitments and keep those. Like, let's make a nonverbal contract and solidarity to keep pushing, to keep liberating each other, keep tearing these places down, and keep finding spaces where we can grow, evolve, and become more. With that, I'm all in.
Who's still there? I started looking up some of the guys. It looks like Benny and Beto might still be there. Who else do you think?
Just those two, I think. And Maurice.
I feel like
I don't know what words are large enough, what task is meaningful enough for the last hour.
Can I tell you something? Your presence itself is invaluable. You don't even have to say a word. We've come to a point in our lives where we cherish and treasure your presence and your visits and your sacrifice and your willingness to be here with us, you know, and no matter where we go, we're always gonna take that with us. You know, I don't see it as an end. I just see it as a new beginning, as a new chapter, and as a stepping stone to something greater. Because this can nobody rob us of this? Nobody. Can nobody rob us of your true friendship, the way you have accepted us for us, with all our faults and flaws and our imperfections, because we're far from perfect, but you best believe that like me and Benny and some of the other brothers that are this close to being home, you know, we're gonna be reunited again. You best believe that.
see it. We were just talking about it earlier, like, yeah.
This ain't the end.
Life sentences and giving people 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, it's come to seem normalized. And we need to shake people up and feel that it's not. We're not supposed to really think about these distant places. It's really a kind of black box. You know, you put in people and then you don't think about what happens there and you don't think about even what comes out of them. I wish more people really confronted this idea that what we do in this country isn't normal, that we've created a system that is an aberration in terms of our own history, that these last 50 years of mass incarceration have no precedent in our own history and are an aberration compared to the rest of the world.
Today, I'm at the ocean, mama, I'm at the ocean, mama, I'm at the ocean, mama. I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And so, I kept a promise. I'm keeping a promise to my mama. I told her, upon my release, we was going to the ocean because she wanted to go to the ocean. And so I told her every year upon my birthday, I'm gonna go to an ocean somewhere on this planet, and I'm gonna sing the song that kept me strong and standing by a cell door for all these years. So today I want to sing this song for you, mama. Unto the old Lord, do I lift up my soul. Unto the old Lord, do I lift up my soul. Oh my God, I trust in thee. Let me not be afraid. Let not my enemies triumph. I'm here, mama. I'm here, mama. I made it.